If you're trying to get meetings with realtors and you're using cold email, however, it's not working, I know exactly why it's not working. And let me give you the short answer. It's because your emails that you're sending are like every other loan officer. But I got good news for you. I have the formula I'm gonna share with you that will get your emails responded to and get you more meetings with realtors. Hey, I'm DJ Christofferson. I've been a licensed loan officer for almost 17 years. And what I do is I help loan officers grow. I help branch managers grow. And if you wonder, well, is it just some guy that's just trying to say that they're awesome, has never done it? Well, I've done a few things in my career. I don't like to say all these things, but I got to say it just so you know that I know what I'm talking about. And so I've been a top 0.5% producer in the country. I've helped grow a company by multiple billions in annual volume. I've helped loan officers scale from a couple loans per month to over 20, 30, 40 loans per month. So when it comes to growing and scaling and the things to get meetings with realtors, it's one of the things that I'm very passionate about. So let's talk about these cold emails. And let's first say, why don't the emails that you send get responded to by realtors? And the simple answer, as I mentioned in the intro, is because it's like what every other loan officer sends. It's not personal. It doesn't speak to them. There's no real value. It is very long and all these things, lots of images. It just looks like every other email that they get sent. And if you send things that get blended in, you get deleted, you get ignored, you get blocked. You think about it, if you see 10 people and 9 of them are wearing a red suit, and then there's a person wearing a red dress, which one does your eyes automatically go to? It goes to the one in the red dress because it stands out from everybody else. So how do you create emails that are like the red dress that get people to look at it? And so there's this thing that I call it the 4 R's to cold email. So 4 R's. And the first one is reward. And we're going to build this out for you as we go. So you got reward, relevance. I should have figured out how to spell relevance before I did. Is that an E or an A? I don't remember. You have relevance. You have reason. And then you have request. Okay, so what are each of these different things when it comes to how you structure an email? So let's change the colors up. And we'll first talk about reward. So when you have an email that you're sending, the first thing, oh, by the way, you know how you can have a little image in there? A lot of people just have, their first letter initial because they don't put anything there. Do something that has a picture. So that alone is going to help you stand out. And some emails actually allow you to put a GIF in or a GIF, however you pronounce it. So it's a little animated, but at minimum, make sure you have a picture of yourself because that alone is going to stand out in the inbox. But what's the first thing that somebody reads when they get an email? And they come in through, they're scrolling, they have the subject line. That's the very first thing they see, maybe the image as well. And that's where the first R comes into play, is that we need to have a reward in there for them to open the email. Now, what do I mean by reward? It's not saying that you're a Nigerian prince and I got $1 billion I'm going to give you, not that kind of reward. It could be something to stoke their curiosity. And so you'll see a lot of times people will just have something very short is, hey, got a quick second, quick question for you. And that's stoking curiosity. There's a reward from creating curiosity. Another thing that you can do is that you can have results in there. Something along the lines is, would you up for a few extra deals this year? I'm just throwing these off the top of my head, but it's got to be something that's going to trigger something in their mind that there's a reward for them to open it. Now, here's key, is it has to go along with the rest of the email. You have to have continuity between the subject line and the rest of the email. Otherwise, you are duping them and then they're not going to trust you. And if you lose trust immediately on the initial cold email, you're not going to get them as a referral partner. So you have to have a reward of some sort in the subject line. And so let's change colors here. But then you got to go with relevance. This is one of the big things. So a lot of people will sometimes understand this, or they'll kind of get that. But where people go really wrong is this next R, and that is relevance. So you have that, hey John, hey Jane, or whatever it is, whether salutation that you have on there. I wouldn't say it's something too formal. Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. Don't do that. Hey, real quick, if you're a loan officer or a branch manager and your business is stuck, whether it's because you don't have enough business coming in or you're having trouble getting the business closed, I want to help you. I do free loan officer hot seats where I invite loan officers on one at a time and I help them fix the biggest issue in their business that's stopping them from to grow. Now, if this is something that interests you, in the description is an intake form. Fill that out, let me know a little bit about your business, and I'll personally review it. If it's something I think that I can help, then my team will reach out to you and we'll get you scheduled for one of our upcoming hot seats. But something informal, but addresses them. But you want to have something that speaks to them, because if it sounds like it's just being blasted out to thousands of realtors at one time, it's usually pretty darn obvious. And so if you are going to cold email realtors, you want to curate a list of the realtors that you want to target, and you want to pull something specific about them that you can reference relevance. It might be something along the lines, hey, John, hey, just saw that you listed 3 properties in the last 2 weeks. Great work. How did you get those? Or just state that. Saw that you listed 3 properties. Hey, I saw that you had a monster year. Look around 77 closing. Fantastic job. So you want to have something that speaks to them. It shows that you took the time to research them and that this is not just going to everybody else. Also, when you speak to them, it pulls them in further, because people who are their people's favorite person, it's usually themselves, even if they don't like to admit it. So you have to have something of relevance. Doesn't have to be long, but something that speaks to them. Now, don't social stalk them in this sense and say, hey, I saw that you bought a new dog and his name is Scruffy. Really cool. I have a dog named Scruffy. That might be a little too far-fetched. Don't do that. Okay? So you want to open up, salutation, some relevance to them. It's speaking to them. All right? So you have that relevance. I'm not going to spell that out. Next one is reason. This is the value. This is the gold. This is something that is going to give them a reason why they'd actually want to spend time with you and take time out of their busy day. Because if you're cold emailing realtors, you're wanting to do with realtors that are actually closing business, right? Especially if you're going to take the time to find relevance on them. And so you want to have a real reason why they want to spend time with you. And it might be okay, hey, great job on those 3 new listings you have here. Quick question. And so I'm giving a reason here. I'm just going to throw something out. This is something that you would have to put in there, is that I work with some agents in our area. And so if you're local and in our area, I like to personalize it that way, in our area. And I sent them over a open house guide or an open house conversion kit. It's 7 specific steps that, that's helping them get a few extra deals out of their open houses. Or is that, hey, I have this really cool thing that is helping the agents that I work with close an extra 4 to 6 deals every single year. Or converting an extra 30% of their leads that they're getting to actual closings. You want to keep it short, you want to keep it sweet, but you want to do it something that in most cases, what's a realtor going to be interested in? Most realtors is closing more business. And so if you could have a short reason why they should meet with you along the lines of you getting them more business, it's going to help. So for instance, let's connect reason to reward. And so a lot of times I would like to do it. I like to do the curiosity subject lines, but I also like to do the things is, a few extra deals per year, question mark. Or were you open for, to get an extra, 2 deals per month, or whatever that is that you feel confident that you can help them do. And then this reason links back to the reward in the subject line. And then it's the request. And the request is very simple. Is that, would this interest you in a quick 10 or 15 minute call or a quick 10 or 15 minute Zoom? I wouldn't say an in-person meeting. I would wait to ascend that. So your request is, some people call a call to action is, would you be up to meeting over the phone for a quick 10 or 15 minutes? Would this interest you? Would this be worth your time? So on and so forth. So in all, this email is all plain text. Don't use HTML and images, but it's very short. You have really 3 lines. Other than the hello on there, you have relevance, which is a sentence, maybe 2. You have reason, a sentence, maybe 2. You have your call to action, which is a sentence. So you have, 3 to 5 sentences in your cold email. And if you do this, this is going to stand out in their inbox. It's going to speak to them. It's going to offer them more value, and it's going to increase the likelihood that you're going to get a meeting with them. And here's the great thing. Once you do this and you start figuring out your metrics and how many realtors it takes for you to get a response, and then you get a response, how many it takes for you to get a meeting out of it, because sometimes you might get a response and they don't want a meeting. But then you get the meetings, how many do you convert into realtors? Then you have your numbers. It's okay, I know I need to send 100 emails to get, 5 responses or 10 responses, and of those I turn into X amount of meetings, and then those turn into referral partners. You now know your funnel of what it takes for you to get to the number of realtors you need to grow your business. It's just reverse engineering it and then putting the plan in play. So if you're going to do cold emails, don't be like everybody else. Create emails that are like that woman in the red dress, not like the 9 other guys in the black suit. They they're part of the noise. You want to stand out above the noise. Implement the 4 R's: reward, relevance, reason, request, and you will see better results. So if you like this video, do me a favor, like it, subscribe, share it with other loan officers, and if you would like for me to take a look at your business personally, I do a hotline, usually twice a month, where I'll bring loan officers on for 10 or 15 minutes. We do this recorded or live. We'll be doing this live, and I'll help you fix the biggest constraint in your business. And the link for that, for an intake form, is in the comments. That's all I got for you. Talk soon.